Well, welcome back to another episode of Desert Life and Adventures. Today we're going to be working on a 2019 Artic Prowler Pro. Little utility machine, good all-around machine. I use it for going over on the gold claim and doing chores around the property here and stuff, but got about 4,000 miles on it, maybe 5. And here recently started giving me some problems. Okay, so we got 4,500 miles on it, and about, let's see here, 385 hours, basically. And been a good little machine. We bought this in Colorado during the pandemic. And like I say, it started having some problems. Let me grab a light here. My light's not real good under there. I started hearing some noises in the clutch. And then one day I really heard noises. So, yeah. What it ended up was the driven clutch, or the secondary clutch. You kind of see in this piece here, that bushing has seen better days. The day it really started making noise, I pulled it over here and took the dust cover and stuff off. I already got some of it disassembled, but yeah, I found that laying in the bottom of it. And so I started investigating, and yeah, this is the pieces that was left in there. This is actually supposed to have, I'll set up a picture of a cut sheet to show you what it's supposed to have. We got some little pieces there that come out. Other than that, the clutch isn't bad. Unfortunately, the problem is you will be very, very, very hard pressed to find a full secondary clutch or even parts to repair this one. Numerous Artic dealers have tried, and basically it's obsolete. So basically what you have to do, let's see if we can get it pulled up here. You have to replace the drive clutch and the driven clutch, so primary and secondary, and it's used to convert the 2019 to 2021 team clutch models to the 22 to 23 CV Tech clutches. And when you go to do that, it's a direct replacement. Can be used to replace the clutch on the 2019 to 2021 Artic Prowler Pro. And to do this conversion, you will also need a drive clutch, a drive belt, a driven clutch, and if you don't have the tools necessary, like I didn't, then you need to order some various other tools. This is your this is the clutch holder. You have a torque retention tool. I also got the drive clutch removal tool. One of the things with this one is I downloaded the instructions for it, and you have to shim the secondary clutch to a certain spacing for your belt. So you get these shims that come with it, and you have to shim the sheave out to 43.5 millimeter mark. Now that was one of the things that I did not get with this order. By the way, this order was $1,168, and I ordered it on June 13th. I've been dealing with this since oh man, first part of May, I think, is when I first started dealing with it, and tried ordering parts through a dealer, and they went back ordered and back ordered and back ordered, and after, I don't know, 4 or 6 weeks, I finally found this online that said you need to replace it with this clutch upgrade, and was going to have him get the parts, and lo and behold, the secondary clutch was still back ordered till August 15th. And so I found a dealer in Utah, and he had recently done one of these for a guy, and when he called, they told him he could get it in about 3 weeks. Well, I got this, I got the parts about a week ago, I guess. There's still one part that is back ordered, so there's a special little tool you have to have to align your clutches, and it's about $21. It's an alignment tool, basically. And when I got all my parts, it's back ordered, estimated time of arrival January of 2025. And I'm just like, oh man. So I done some checking around. I talked to a local dealer here, told them I had all the parts, talked to them about doing it, and was going to start making arrangements for that. But I had to, I got a tire on my trailer I need to get replaced before I can really haul it anywhere. Well, in the meantime, I started getting on the internet and looking around, and lo and behold, some of the dealers like Country Cat, I believe it was Revzilla, they've actually got some of these parts in stock now. And Country Cat just happened to have the alignment tool in stock. So I've ordered that. Should be here in a few days. The other thing I've got to pick up is a inch-pounds torque wrench. And I know I've got a foot-pounds torque wrench. I can convert it. This has got to be torque. Some of the torque is like 96 inch-pounds. And I can convert that over. I believe it will be about 8 foot-pounds. But all I've got is like a big half-inch or three-quarter drive torque wrench, and I don't even know if it goes down to 8 foot-pounds. So I have a local Harbor Freight store. I got to go to Kingman here the next day or so and pick up some prescriptions. So I'm just going to swing in Harbor Freight for about 18 bucks. I can pick me up an inch-pound torque wrench. I made the mistake one time of not paying attention. I don't remember what I was working on. Probably my snowmobile. And I didn't pay close enough attention, and it was inch-pounds instead of foot-pounds. And yeah, needless to say, I tightened down whatever I was tightening down pretty good. And then I caught it, fortunately, in time. So that should be in about the same time as, or I should pick that up in the next day or two, and then my alignment tool should be here. And I want to give this thing a shot and see what we can do, and I'll take you guys along. When I looked on like YouTube and stuff, there wasn't a whole lot of information on there on the Prowler Pro, so we will get a video made, and I'm probably going to fumble through it. I've done snowmobiles, but I've never got into that much into a side-by-side like this. So we'll see how hard or how easy it is, and what complications we might run into. And while I got it in here, I'm going to go ahead and, even though it's August, it's still pretty hot here. I'm going to go ahead and take my full doors off and get my quarter doors put on. We've still got several months of really warm weather here, and with those full doors, it gets pretty warm, especially for the pooches. Right, Jack? Jack? It gets warm, huh? Yep, it's warm in here too, because we can't have our swamp cooler on, we can't have our music on, so as soon as I get going on this, I will bring you guys along. Okay, so as you can see here, I've already got the secondary clutch off. You've seen that when I was showing you the parts. So one of the things I'm going to have to do, and it's no big deal, is I'm going to have to put that secondary clutch back on there temporarily, because in order to get the primary clutch off, you put this tool that I bought, if I didn't have one, you put that over the primary and the secondary, and so then that's what holds pressure on it, so you can loosen that the bolt on the primary clutch. Now, one of the things I just double checked, one of the things you want to make sure you have is a T60 Torx in order to get that off. And even though I've got one, so this is your T60 Torx. I may go ahead and pick up another one just because I've not had good luck with these things. They tend to break fairly easy. So yeah, it probably wouldn't hurt to have a spare. So when I go in to pick up my inch-foot torque wrench, I'm going to go ahead and pick up another T60. But so I'll temporarily put that excuse me, secondary clutch back on there, It doesn't really matter that it has the guts out of it because it just goes on there and then it's all locked in place. If you didn't have that secondary clutch, I kind of already looked at it, and oh, it's over here. I think what a guy could do is probably put a piece of pipe or something to protect your shaft, and then you just go ahead and put that on there, and when you turn it, you know, you want something on there to protect your shaft coming out of the, I guess they call it a transaxle there, I don't know. Because basically what you have to do is you have to loosen that one and take it out, and then you have to take the tool that I bought and you run it in and tighten it so it pulls that clutch off. So like I say, I'm sure you could probably do it just by putting something protective over that shaft and letting it go where it will. But I'm going to go ahead and I've waited long enough and paid enough. I want to make sure I don't mess up anything else and go from there. Okay. So basically, I think all we have to do is, I didn't even put the guts back in this. All we got to do is slide it back on there, line up a little bit, and you can turn it. So then we take this, make sure we line it up on those slots, and right there locks that in place. And that should hold it while I take that outside bolt out. Okay, let's see if this impact's going to do it. I don't know if it's going to be big enough or not. We might have to adapt it and go with a bigger impact. Ha! Look at that. Sweet. Okay, so now it says to lightly coat the threads and the end of the drive clutch puller tool. So it doesn't specify what kind of grease to use, so I'm just going to use some good old white lithium grease on here. Hopefully I can use some of these tools that I bought on something else one of these days. So this takes a 3/4, yep, 3/4, and it says to tighten it, and then it says you might have to tap on it with a hammer. So let's see what happens here. Okay, I might have to get a little bigger. I'll have to get my hammer and bigger impact. We'll see what that does. Okay, got my hammer, tapped that a couple of times, and got a bigger impact here. We'll see what that does. want that. Ah, look at that. Ah, I love it when things go right the way they're supposed to. Sweet. Well, if anybody needs a good primary clutch for a 2019 Prowler Pro, I have one. Who knows, maybe I'll throw this thing up on eBay or something, but I went pretty slick. I'm glad that went that easy. Like I say, never really done anything like this. I've messed with the secondary clutch, mainly on a snowmobile. I don't remember if I ever even messed with a primary, but I know things can go wrong. Fortunately with this one, I've maintained it well, and it went good. So now I'll have to see what the next instructions are, and because I know there's a little plate back here somewhere you have to pull and put a shim and put the plate back on or something, but I'll bring it back when I get to that. Well, that's going to do it for today. I got going through the instructions here. I found out there's another part I don't have, and so too late today. I'm going to have to do some calling tomorrow and see if I can find it and get it coming. If you look right there, there's a ring and a cover that comes off. And apparently there's a shim that goes behind that, and then you put the cover back on. And as near as I can tell what it does, this new primary clutch must not go on as far and made up with that seal in there. So you got this spacer shim you have to put in there that helps seal it up so the oil doesn't come out, or grease or whatever it is in there, doesn't come out of the, basically the PTO crankshaft on the engine. So I will get in the morning and start making some calls. Artic Cat, can't think of the name of it now. Anyhow, they list it on their website, but it's confusing because it says it's no longer available. But then when you go click on it, it says special order, I think 5 to 7 business days, and you can put it in your cart. So I'll call Red Desert, the dealer in Utah where I got all my other parts, in the morning and see if they have one in stock and get it mailed to me. And if not, I will call Country Cat, is who it is. I'll call Country Cat, just confirm that it is something they can get me, and get one coming. And when I get the rest of the parts, hopefully I'll get them all within a couple of days of each other, and we can get back on this thing. So when I get there, or if I go to working on something else, I'll bring you back. How are we doing today? So we're back out here on this Artic Cat Prowler Pro clutch conversion, and we got a new. This is Cisco. Cisco, what are you doing? What do you think? What do you think, Jack? Well, you like Cisco? You like the new little baby? Well, yeah, he likes to, his first time out in the shop, and he's He's wanting to explore, so we got to keep him tethered there till he learns what's what out here. So like I say, we're back out here on this Prowler Pro clutch conversion, and we'll see what we get done today. Probably going to put it back together. I run into a little issue here, trying to follow the instructions. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see this or not, but in the instructions, it talks about removing the engine PTO, or near the engine PTO, remove the retaining ring securing the inner clutch. Let me get this down here. So it talks about removing that ring, securing the inner clutch cover. I'm not sure why. Then near the transaxle input shaft, it says remove the 4 cap screws. I'm not sure if you can see those right in there. And let's get a little more light down in here. There we go. It talks about removing those and putting in a CVT cover shim up against the transaxle around the input shaft, and then position the CVT cover seal up against the shim. Install the retaining ring, securing the inside clutch cover. Install the 4 cap screws securing the inner clutch cover and tighten to 96 inch-pounds. Now, this clutch kit was supposed to have a shim that goes back in there. I'm not sure if that's... I'm running into issues because that part, that shim, is no longer available. I've talked to several dealers, talked to some guys on Facebook, and we don't know, can't figure out if these instructions are for a different application, not necessary for this application, or just what the situation is, but that part is no longer available, which we're assuming means you don't need it. Maybe they made some kind of modification to these clutches where you don't need it anymore. Just not sure, but logic tells me if it's no longer available, that then these instructions may be for a different application, not necessarily for this application when they made this the conversion clutch for this model or what. So we're going to go ahead and skip on down to the instructions for putting these clutches on, checking the alignment, and potentially have this thing back together and running today. So we'll keep going with it. And okay, so this next part is pretty straightforward. Basically says you want to wipe your shaft and the shaft taper, they call it, and the drive clutch taper with a clean cloth. Make sure everything's good and clean there. Go in there and put that on. You put the new bolt that you got with your kit and you hand tighten it. Then you do the same over here with the driven clutch. Take that. Oh, one more step. So it does say you want to take and grease your innermost, I need to shake up, squeezed a little bit. Try this again. So you want to grease your innermost shaft splines. We'll make sure we get some good grease on there. Get that driven clutch lined up on there. Oh, I need that washer. Huh. Let me double check the instructions here, see what it says. Yeah. It says to grease the innermost splines of the transaxle input shaft, then place the new driven clutch onto the input shaft and insert the existing cap screw with the existing flat washer and tighten. Now, I don't know if that looks a little funky to me, because that will go in, but that's not going to fit inside. All right, let me do some checking here and make sure I've got the right. Okay, so I got it figured out, because yes, now that bolt with the washer, the existing one that come out of your driven clutch, will fit. Basically, I didn't have the driven clutch all the way on. You have to get it lined up with that second set of splines, and then it goes on there to where then this bolt and washer will work. So we got to hand tighten both of these, and I'm probably going to need some tools here. We'll see what we need. Okay, I think we got everything we need here. Basically, let's see here. You take your tool here again. Wow, is it going to work on that one? Does it work on that one? Okay, so if you look here, I wondered what I got this other wrench for, and it said, oh, what did it say? It calls it a clutch torque tool or something like that. It's not the one I originally used. I don't know if I got the sticker off of it or not. I could look on the order form I had for the kit. So anyhow, you have this different tool that you have to use because the old one doesn't fit. The one to take off the old the old clutches doesn't fit on the new one. So basically this one, it takes a little bit to get it lined up. You get it lined up in there on both of them, and then you can torque down your bolt. So we got the torque wrench set at 50. Oh, I figured that was going to be a pain. It is a pain to line up. You got to get it in those slots just right. Get it lined up on this one just right. There we go. And now we got to try to hold everything in place to torque them. Okay, I can see this is going to be a pain in my rear, so I'm going to go ahead and get this put back on, maybe try to figure out something to hold it in place and get these torqued, and I will back. Basically what I was able to do is I got a soft wood type clamp and put in there to hold that in place, and got those torqued down. I might need that. I was starting to try to wondering how I was going to do it because my torque wrench is 1/2 inch. Fortunately, I have an adapter that adapts it down because this back bolt is actually a 13 millimeter. So I've got them both torqued to 50 pounds like it says, and we'll see what's next on the step. Okay, here we are back. I'm trying to remember where I left. I think we had it all put together. But the alignment on the clutches wasn't right. Basically, I don't remember if I've done this or not. You take your alignment tool, put it in there. Let me get some light over here a little bit. You get your alignment tool, you set it in there. That 43.5 millimeter, that white line is supposed to line up on the back of the outside shim. Mine was lining up on the front or the outside of the outside shim. So what I had to do was take that secondary clutch back apart, get it off there, and let me tell you, it was a chore. Fortunately, I had a puller that I could put on it, get it pulled off. So I don't know if the grease I put on there, that white lithium, wasn't good enough or what. Basically, I looked at my different shims. Let me see where they're at here. When I ordered the kit, I ordered all the shims that they recommended. Here's what the shims look like. Basically, you have to pull the clutch off and figure out which one you need. It goes on the shaft, and then you put the clutch back on. I took my little, well, to start with, I just held them up there and found one that was the thickness of that outer shiv. Was a 5 millimeter, I believe, is the one I used. should be the one that's missing here in the package. Yes, I use the 5mm. Took my little caliper, double checked that, and yes, the width of the shiv was right at 5mm. So that's the one I put on, and as you could see there a second ago, that white line now lines up, and the pulleys are lined the way they're supposed to be. Since that thing was so hard coming off, and then I looked online and they show a little tool that is supposed to be a secondary clutch puller bolt tool, and maybe it works, but they're $50. Yeah, I didn't know if I wanted to buy something that I didn't know was actually going to do what I needed or not. And like I say, fortunately, once I spread the pulley open a little bit, I had a puller that I could actually get in behind there and used it to pull that secondary clutch back off. And it was on there pretty good. I mean, I was using my 1/2-inch DeWalt with a big socket, and it took that to pull it off. So what I did, I actually took and cleaned off the old white grease, and I have some assembly lube left here, left over from when I done the Jeep, rebuilt the motor in my Jeep years ago. And basically that assembly lube, if you don't know it, you put it on your cam when you put your cam in, cam bearings, all that kind of stuff. So I've got it back on there. I've got it torqued to the 50 pounds it's supposed to be. Everything looks like it's lining up good per the alignment tool. So next I will get the belt on there and see how it acts. So this belt has directional arrows. Basically the instructions said to place it where the letters were up, and the last one I had, actually, now I've got to buy another new one because I actually had the original one on this, and then I put a new one on it, and it didn't have the directional arrows. So what I've always done is, as a rule of thumb, is put the with the drive clutch in the front, driven clutch in the back. I've always put it where those letters were facing and readable when I put the new belt on. So the other thing it says to do is to rotate this at least 2 times. Make sure you get your belt where it's supposed to be there, riding at the top of the shivs. So we'll do that, and this one's going to be a little bit, it's got some spots where it's not riding quite right in there. And then you're supposed to double check your torque. So basically what I'm going to do is, I've rotated it, I'm going to double check my torque. I'm actually going to start it up and let it run, and then double check the torque again. So okay, so basically what I was able to do is I took the tool that I used previously, just got it down there under hooked under the drive clutch here, double checked my torque. We're still at 50 pounds, so I'm going to move a few things here, and we'll see what this does. Okay, looks like everything's running right where it's supposed to. I've got it in gear here. Had to give me a throttle stick here for long range, and So it looks like everything's functioning the way it's supposed to. So I'll double check now and double check my belt alignment, double check my torque. Good. Belt looks like where it's riding where it's supposed to be all the way around. Yeah, so I'll just double check all my torque, put the tire back on it. I may actually just set the GoPro up down there, or actually mine's not a GoPro. I'll set the camera up down there. I've got the Insta360 Pro. I may set it up somewhere down there, and probably won't be able to do it tonight because it's already getting dark outside. But I will just hang the camera underneath there, get the tire back on, hang the camera underneath there, and just go for a little drive out here in the driveway and do a loop or two, and take a look at it, make sure it's working right, put all the covers back on, and I'll put that in the video here when I do it, and see how it goes. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, welcome back everybody. I think last time you see me, we went on a test drive and everything seemed to go good. Got all my covers back on, everything buttoned back up. Actually went ahead and put my quarter doors back on, or actually put them on. It's set with the bulk of the summer, so I hadn't taken the full doors off, and we still got several months here of really warm weather in northwestern Arizona, so it makes a big difference in there, especially we got 2 dogs now that ride in there with us, and gives some good airflow through there. So I took the full doors off, let them sitting over here in the corner. As I progress on organizing my shop here and whatnot, I'm going to build me some hangers over here on the wall where I can hang up my full doors for the side-by-side and my full doors for the Jeep. But I want to thank you all for coming along on this. Hopefully this helps somebody out that may be needing to figure out how to do this like I did. Like I say, I couldn't find a lot on YouTube about the Prowler Pro. I'm hoping that means it's a really good machine. They don't take a lot of work, but in this case, yeah, we got her done. Watch for an upcoming video because I still have an issue with something in the front end, and I remember now after before the clutch went out, I was having problems with it, and when we drive down the road, it was starting to, you get up around 25, 30 miles an hour, it felt like something was binding up. Well, not necessarily, you couldn't feel it bind up, but it felt like something was coming unbound. And it kind of darted just a little bit to the right, not enough to wreck you or anything, but enough that you know something's wrong. So I went ahead and ordered a full set of ball joints for it. Went ahead and ordered the new steering joints for it, for the ends of the tie rod ends, and should be getting those here about any time. They ship today. So when I get the parts, I will do a video, and we'll go through those together as well. But I want to thank you all for coming along on this video. Hopefully it helps somebody looking on YouTube University to figure out how to fix their clutch or do the clutch conversion on their Prowler Pro. I don't remember what years it was. This is a 2019. I don't remember what years were affected by this clutch upgrade, but I will leave a snapshot of the kit that I ordered for it, and put that here at the end of the video. And I want to thank you all for joining in. If you like the video, like, comment, share, subscribe, because there will be more upcoming videos as I work on this thing, and some of my other stuff, my desert life and adventures. Got all kinds of different things going on. But I appreciate you all watching, and also I don't know if any of you are part of there's a Facebook group, primarily Artic Cat, and I will share a post that has a link to this video on that Facebook site as well. So once again, thank you all for watching, and have a good one.